What's up, YouTube? And I'm back. And I'm sorry I didn't get started today or yesterday. I just overslept, and that's what it came down to. By the time I woke up, it was time to go to work. So I didn't have time. I really just didn't have time due to my own laziness and just tiredness. That when you feel like you get hit by that bag of rocks, you're out for the count. So no start today yesterday. Apologize for that, but we're gonna have one today. We'll get back on track. Um, Start today. Computers. Do you buy pre-built or do you build? Well, let's look at the pros and cons of each. Um, Building. Building requires time. Time you may not have. That could be a con for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that have families, jobs, multiple jobs, um, just stuff in general going on. Life affects people, and you may not have the time to do the research, to put it together, and everything else. So that's a con. That's a con for a lot of people, and I think that's a bigger con at times than the money itself. Which brings me to my pro of building your computer. Pro of building a computer, you can get more bang of your buck. It's not like years ago when building was so much cheaper than buying. Still a little cheaper. Nowadays you more pay for labor than anything when it comes to building pre-built. But you still save in the long run as far as your bang for your buck, you still save. So you get more bang for your buck when building. But it's really not that much cheaper anymore. You can go to some of these websites and literally Google up the pieces and Google up the stuff, the parts and everything, and compare the prices, and literally you're paying for labor most of the time, and that's really all the difference is, like maybe $100 to $300 in labor, and that's about it. That's all you're really paying for anymore. You're not paying much of a difference for parts when it comes to buying a pre-built versus a build your own. Um, and another pro with building your own is you can space your purchases out. Not everybody has $1,000 to drop on a new computer. I don't. But people usually have, they're looking at getting a new computer, $200, $300, $400 here and there, so they can go buy the parts, they can go buy the pieces and everything over a time period. I recommend if you're looking at maybe it's going to take you 6 months to put the pieces together, just to save the money that you wanted to put toward that was going towards your computer, save the money, watch the pieces, watch for sales, watch for decline in prices, watch for rebates, watch for anything that pops up while you're buying these computers, when you're these parts that you were looking at. And normally your prices vary so much that you may end up doing it cheaper 6 months from now than what you would have bought it today. So that's another good thing, is you can maybe save some money by watching the prices and buying the parts separately, and you can space your purchases out, which is nice. What's another pro? Another pro of building your own is you actually know what's in your computer. You know the pros and cons of the pieces in your computer. You know what's good, you know what's replaceable, you know what to replace it with, you know how to work it, you know how to wire it, you know how to do everything, which is a good thing. It's good to know what's in your computer. I buy a pre-built, half the time I don't even know what's in the computer. So it's a shame. So I just kind of go with the flow, go with it as is. My Dell that I'm using right now, I don't know what's in it. I don't even know if I've really even opened it. It's a piece of shit and I want to throw it out the door. But it is what it is. So, that's just a couple minor stuff. I recommend building if you are looking to upgrade multiple times a year, or every other year, or every year, just multiple upgrades, so you know what you need. That's when I recommend building, so you know exactly when you build, everything's going to be compatible. You know this because you built it. Pre-built. Pro. One person to call if something doesn't work. One of the big cons with building your own is if your processor doesn't work, you have to call who made your processor. If your video card, you have to call them. If your motherboard, you have to call them. you go round and round with multiple companies because you built it. You don't have one solution to go to. You have to call based on which piece doesn't work. With a pre-built, you have one person to call. If your Dell computer doesn't work, you call Dell. Your iBuyPower computer doesn't work, you call iBuyPower. They figure out what's wrong with it. So keep that in mind when deciding. Con, the price. And it's not a huge con, but to some people it's a big con. You don't get as much bang for your buck. You're looking at about $100 to $300 in labor nowadays, and you're not sure if the parts are worth what you paid. So it's not that big of a deal as far as prices. Some people $100 to $300 to not deal with the headaches and stuff is a pro. But to most people, an extra $100 to $300 is a big deal in money. So that's a con. Pre-built. Pro. Order minor customization, which is not bad, and it's shipped to your house in one piece, put together, ready to go. All you gotta do is plug it up and hit the power button. You're set. For people that don't have time, it's great. It's great for people that don't have time. I think this is why pre-built computers still exist, because not everybody has the time. I have the time, but these days I just don't have the energy to do stuff. Like, I don't know, like, that's my fear. If I buy the pieces, when will I get it together? So that's just some minor pros and cons of building versus, buying pre-built. Is there a wrong? No. You go to these forums, you go to Reddit, you go to all these stuff, and you go, what should I buy? And people sometimes will help you. But then when you post a comment like, what pre-built computer should I buy? People go, oh, build your own. You can get this for this much. You have $1,100. Look at what you can get for $1,100 versus what that pre-built computer is going to get you. Most people don't care. If they're asking about pre-built, they don't have the time, they don't have the patience, they don't have the energy, or they just don't want to build their own computer, which is perfectly fine. iBuyPower, Cybertron, CyberPower, Dell, HP, all these companies exist because most of the people don't have the time, the patience, or the energy, or don't care. They just want a computer, they want something they can plug in and run. Understandable. So, if you're on these forums and you see people posting, just build your own, well, here's what you can get. Go to Part Picker and here's what you get for $1,100. Look what I found. Look at all this stuff you get for $1,100 versus what you're getting. Remind them, they once probably bought a pre-built computer. They once was that person not comfortable building their own computer. Everybody has to get their feet wet eventually, and it may not be with computers. It was maybe with something else. But it just drives me nuts. These people go ask for legitimate help and advice on what pre-built computers they suggest, and people bash it instantly. There's a lot to learn when it comes to building your own computer. It's easy to connect, it's easy to put together, but the parts themselves take some research and take some learning, and there's figuring out what does what. Not everybody knows what does what. Half the time, I don't even know what does what. And I'll be honest, I'm looking at maybe building a computer now, but I know where to get to, but I need to figure out where to start. And the start is the motherboard. I don't know which motherboard I should get. That's why I'm confused. Once I figure out the motherboard, I can figure out the process, I can figure out everything past that. I just don't know which motherboard's recommended for what I want to do. I want to do gaming and I want to do some editing. I just don't know what motherboard I should get, and that's where my problem lies. I have no problem with people that want to buy pre-built. I'm looking at a pre-built computer. It meets, as far as every standard I can come up with, it meets most of my standards. Do I think it's future-proof? No. Does it give me what I want at this moment? For the most part. Is there things that can be upgraded? Yeah, and there's things that we probably would upgrade. So, like I said, the reason I made this video today is because I see this way too much. I even went to Reddit the other day. I went to a different forums. I went to look and see what pre-built computer does. And you look at all these pre-built stuff, and when they say just go buy your own, it kind of defeats why people ask these questions. People are looking for help. People are looking for advice. And most of the people that are doing it are not looking to build their own computer. They don't want to. They don't care to. I'm looking for help. I'm looking to see what pre-built companies are good, which pre-built companies are bad. Maybe I'm also looking for help on where to start. What motherboard should I get? If I want to do editing and video games, what would be a good motherboard? And then once I figure out the motherboard, then I can figure out the processors, then I can get the video card and the memory and all that stuff. I know where to go from there. I'm just lost on the motherboard, and it's taking time. I've been doing some research myself, and it takes time to figure out what you need. So my thought today is when someone asks for help on a pre-built computer, help them. Help them with what pre-built computer you would suggest. Don't tell them to go build their own. Don't tell them, look at this versus what you want to buy. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking to get a pre-built computer. They're looking to do certain things with the computer. It may not be what you are going to do with your computer. They're just looking for advice. They're looking for a step in the right direction. Is pre-building wrong and bad? No. Pre-building is great for most of society. Is building wrong or bad? No. Building is great for the people that want to learn something. Just remember, we all were young and stupid once. We all learned our lessons. We all had questions. Maybe it was a computer. Maybe it's a car you didn't know anything about. Maybe it's TV. Maybe it's a surround sound. Maybe it's a car stereo. You had to learn. You didn't go out and build your first car stereo. You went out and bought it. You didn't go out and build your first home surround sound system. You bought a theater in a box because you knew everything was compatible. So I advise you to help these people that are looking for help. If they're looking for a pre-built, point them towards good companies that build good computers. I recommend Ironside's one I heard about. Digital Storms is another. And also put it in their budget. Don't tell them that they should go buy a $1,500 pre-built computer when their budget's only $1,000. Keep it in their budget. If their budget's $1,000, give them a $900 to $1,100 choice. Like I said, keep it in their budget. If they're looking to build, same thing goes. Don't give them $2,000 worth of parts if they have an $800 budget. $700 to maybe $900 max. Maybe able to squeeze another. Maybe be able to squeeze them to $1,000. Just give them the parts they're looking for. Give them what they're looking for in their budget. So that's my advice. That's my thought today. I'm still looking for help on motherboards, so if you have any advice on motherboards, a good motherboard, either Intel or AMD, I'm not picky. I think they both make quality products. Post below, give me suggestions, point me in that direction, and I'll catch you guys later. Take it easy. Peace.